Hello, I'm going to be doing the English book exercise 3.3. So, question one. Based on solely what you heard, make a list of differences in content, vocabulary, or other information between versions A and B. I said version A had a lot more ands in it, and version B seemed like it was more professional. Version A seemed like she could have been talking to friends, family members, somebody she has more of a relationship with, while A, version B was a lot more formal, like coworkers, boss, interview, something similar to that. Question two says to put parentheses around the differences. Question three. Are any details mentioned in one version and not in the other? What are those details, and in which version do they appear? I said version A had the fact that their children are now grown and that they have grandchildren, and also that they lived in Boston for 5 years before moving and then coming back. Question four asks me to find the examples of where different words are used to express the same thing and put brackets around the difference in vocabulary. That's going back to point one, where A was very much more relaxed and B was more professional. C was kind of in between the two of them. It could have been somebody who was like a coworker that she has started to get to know. Question five, read the transcripts and underline the differences in the order of information. I did that. There was quite a bit considering they were so different. But it was just very minute things, like maybe something would come a sentence before another. Question six, do any of the differences that you've noticed create a difference in meaning? And then write down those instances. So for question six, I said when talking about their first son, they mention him in different ways. And so the different ways that they mention him is just young child, they mention son, and they mention just bringing a child over. So all three of those are very different. I think the first one made it more personal because she said young child or young son. And when they use the young and the son words, that kind of helps describe who this child is and what it looks like and how that would affect their day-to-day life when they moved there. The last one says put parentheses around differences that only appear in C, put brackets around any vocab that appears in C and not in A or B, and underline the differences of information that only appear in C. I did that. There wasn't a whole bunch, but there was definitely a few minute things, and again, it was mostly the phrasing of the sentences. For the 5-step follow-up, I finished step one, and I went on to step two. And this is review your answers to study questions 1 and 2 and compare them to your answers with 3 and 4. Read the transcripts. I did all of that, and everything looked pretty accurate. It looked to match up really well. My analysis. Reread the transcripts and check for any differences in content, vocabulary, and order of information that you notice. There's definitely, again, quite a bit. I started to underline them, but it seems that almost every line something changes between A, B, and C, especially with the ands and the different kinds of years they've used. They used 1991 in version B, but in version A, I believe it was, they used just 91. That little bit of difference kind of shows, again, the more professional side versus the non-professional side. Step 4, look for any underlying reasons that allowed you to notice these differences. I think it was that I had read the study questions before and then I focused and I really looked for those things. And then also while the video, or not the video, but while the DVD was playing, I like to read along just because it helps me. And so I was able to pick up on those differences pretty fast. At the end, I did go reread them line by line and would change and start with version A, one line, version B, the next, version C, that line, and then do it again and again and again until I found the differences. Develop an action plan based on your analysis assessment. My plan is to pretty much just continue what I'm doing, read along as they talk. I have a hard time paying attention, so reading along while they talk really helped me. I think that's all I have. Thank you so much.